Technically, that still works as a title because it is technically a controversial topic, I guess, right? All right, let's reload this. See if this works. It says everything is streaming. Okay, Twitch is working. Okay, YouTube seems to be up. And Kick is up as well. Ooh. Alrighty then. Bit of a shorter stream, again, shorter stream today, which means it's probably going to run for like 2 hours, right? But yeah, I am just going to be talking about a couple things, probably getting a couple episodes out of this. Hello there, lurker of Kick. Hold on, who is this? Hello there, Philip. Oh my god. Well, at least I'm getting the YouTube, responses. It's not telling me YouTube is currently got anyone on it, but there's clearly someone on YouTube right now, right? All right, so let's see. All right, so apparently Leaflet is apparently got a project in hand that is actually really interesting to me, right? Okay, now YouTube, the YouTube fucking person counter is up on ProChat. Let's see. Leaflet says, I'm making a program that is a bridge between PNG tubing and live 2D. It's called Adventurer. You can make a model in less than 30 minutes and add new emotes in less than 5. I am personally totally down for this. Again, I don't think the AI is evil. I don't think the AI is going to take anyone's gerbs unless they're really shitty at their gerb, to be perfectly honest, in the art community, right? I'm talking very specifically about the art community. Even in the coding community, it's like, yeah, you know what? You're still going to need a human being to review the coding, right? All this replacing people with AI is a temporary affectation. It's not going to last. But the AI itself will actually just improve the creative process over time, right? So anyway, but yeah, as you can see here, I was like, I'm eager to see what can be done with this personally, right? So yeah, I can't wait to see all the anti-AI people fucking like seethe about this. But before we go through the what would you call it, comments, let's see what exactly this is, because I actually haven't seen this yet. So let's make sure this is all the way up. Okay. Kionella says, YouTube sucking today. I wish it would alert me on laptop. That's fair. Hello, Wasumyon. Thank you for the subscription. All right, so let's test this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Leaflet here. I'm making a new VTuber system that is between PNG tubing and live TD.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what we just read on the thing, but fair enough, right?
And what it is it's a tracked model that only has specific states that captures your voice and your emotive state. And what it does is it allows you to be more expressive as a PNG tuber, and also allows you to do really, really cool emotes and do them really, really, really fast. So a little bit of context.
Okay. First of all, I'm just going to say, I think that this has banger potential, to be perfectly honest, right? I am a little bit finicky. I'm a little bit iffy about, again, setting up a web camera for VTubing purposes, right? But that being said, that's a skill issue on my part, right? Because that's how it would capture the emotions, right? But yeah, I could totally see over time someone developing a program to effectively do exactly that, right? To create particular states that are captured and then loaded as people move, which is effectively, honestly, how like live 2D works itself, right? You have all of these possible states that are already pre-installed in a program, right? And then as it tracks your motion, it then just individually loads each individual frame as necessary, right? So it's not that hard to imagine. Let's see. Hello, Crimson Rain. Got a game you might find interesting to analyze? Lunacid. I'll check it out. Let's see. Kionalo says it's cute, but a bit janky. But it's a baby right now, so it's allowed jank. Yeah, this is obviously a test type, right, or a prototype. So there's obviously going to be kinks to work out. But as we've all been saying, AI is only going to be as bad as it's ever been right now, right? It will get better. There are probably there are probably caps to how AI can be developed in each individual field, just based on the nature of what it is. But I don't think we have really hit that particular limit, and I think some of those limits can actually be gotten around by properly understanding how to actually use the limitations of the AI to your advantage, which is a thing you learn as an artist, right? So
I can make these models in under an hour, including a bunch of emotes with them, and anyone can do it once we have the system set up. So the system goes like straight from concept. It has all of the tools like to key everything and to set up everything and to export everything. The system also uses
honestly, so it's basically attempting to be foolproof, right? Which, to be fair, there will be a fool who somehow manages to fuck it up, i.e. me, right? But again, I really appreciate that they're doing this for the community, right? Because it's like there's a lot of people who would be doing VTubing, but the problem is that, to be perfectly honest, they just might not have the ability to make themselves a PNG because they just don't know how to use some of these programs, right? And they definitely may not have the money to get like a professional, what would you say, like model. Like again, I just rigged my model, like my PNG, up in like 5 minutes in like Illustrator. It wasn't exactly that hard, but I at least have a basic knowledge of how to use Illustrator, right? Because I came from a family of illustrators, right? So, I kind of had a bit of an unfair advantage where it's like I can actually draw, and then I can actually just vector over with the thing I just drew. And yeah, I'm colorblind, so I'm not exactly going to pay attention to the fine color gradient detail. I'm just going to make this thing just be like a bunch of like bold colors, some of which I can barely see. So it's like, fuck it, why, right? Yeah, it's like, I do think that there's definitely a market for this. So I would pay for this, to be perfectly honest. If Leaflet like put this out and had it be a paid thing, I would absolutely pay for it, right?
It doesn't use GIFs. You can use GIFs, but we don't have it set up. We don't use GIFs because they're too heavy. Like they're way too big, and GIFs blow up people's computers. They're just they're too taxing on computers. So.
Yeah, I could see that. I could actually see that, right? There's probably jank coding in there too, to be perfectly honest. Even some of the like professional equipment out there has jank coding in it that just doesn't need to exist. Hold on. Kionala says we need fools to break it to make it better. Exactly, right? If this gets better, the complacent separating that's needed for live 2D. Oh yeah. I think that the AI programs will eventually catch up. It's just figuring out how to get them to work together is the issue, right? So it's like it's just a thing that's like we may not necessarily have the ability to do it right now, but that's not because it can't be done. It's just because we haven't figured out how to do it. And Leaflet is on that warpath to figure out how to make the AI better than it's ever been before, right?
This is a completely different system that we have here. Anyway. So, as you can see, it does measure, like, my emotive state. So, if I smile, you can see that it will smile like this. And then my neutral, if I'm in neutral. And then if I frown, it will change, like, the state. And
I'm curious as to how it's measuring the emotive state. I imagine that it's a camera that they have to hook it up to a web camera. I would imagine so, because I don't imagine it's reading the voice, right? Because her voice didn't change, so it has to be reading her face through a webcam, which shouldn't be that hard for her to set up because like she already is familiar with using a webcam for VTubing, so the general principle is probably something she's already familiar with. She just made, and to be fair, the AI probably did help with some of the coding with this stuff too, because I remember Leaflet saying something along the lines of she can't stand coding, and to be fair, every person I've ever known who actually enjoys coding is a fucking psychopath, right? But you know, neither here nor there.
Like change state actually has a different speaking animation as well. So you can see I have a neutral speaking animation, I have an upset speaking animation, I've got a happy speaking animation, and if you're surprised, it even tracks your surprise, which also has its own animation, right?
Again, I do think this is going to improve over time, right? But the jankiness, there is a bit of a jankiness in here that I do agree with you, Kionella, but I would still be willing to get one of these myself, just because, again, I believe in the vision, right? And I do believe that over time, we will be able to get one where it'll be more effective at tracking the actual movement by actually essentially generating what would be equivalent to a live 2D model on its own, right? It'll still probably have some degree of jank. We'll have to go in there and like fix it up. But again, I'm not exactly against it. I actually kind of want that to be the case, right? So that just sounds like it would be fun. Coding is a headache, yes. Yes, I was told I would be a really good coder because I used to do logic as like a fun thing, but I was like, I fucking hate coding. I like doing logic as a fun, like as like a fun exercise, but I'm not a big coding fan.
Not only that, it also tracks like if you you could do like a little facepalm emote as well, and it also.
I'm not gonna be doing a facepalm because like in order to do a facepalm, I'd have to, you know. Especially like right there on the face, I would have to take my glasses off first, and I'm not doing that.
Also has typing, so you can typing makes a very distinct sound.
Interesting.
So you can rig it up to also check for typing, if you have problems with that, like if your microphone is near your keyboard or something like that.
To be fair, yes, and because of the way my desk is set up and where my keyboard has to be, it's pretty obvious when I'm typing, right? You can hear the fucking clickety-clacks ringing through the fucking table, right?
Now to go on to emotes, it has a pretty comprehensive emote system. So it's got multiple types of emotes. So it's got some emotes that just play a straight up animation. So I'll show one like that. I have a thank you animation.
Oh, that's really cute.
So that's like our first type of animation. And we also have a type 2 animation in which it transitions you to a state in like which you can either load new animations, but it changes your idle. So for instance, I've got like dance ones, right? Where if I hit like a dance, or we'll do 6-7. So I do like a little 6-7 here.
Interesting.
And it will just stay in this state basically infinitely until I decide to end it. There's also other ones that have emotes within emotes, and they can get really complicated. Like here, I'll show one here. Well, first off, I'll talk more about type 1 emotes.
So basically, you can put custom emotes in here, which is, again, something that I actually really would be, again, interested in to see what it can actually do, right? Because a character can get into on the thumbnail that they can't necessarily get into in my PNG tube character, which is fine. And also, I do have a sneaking suspicion it's going to fuck up the characters on my cheap pal, but that's neither here nor there. And I'd be willing to see if there's a way, because there's probably a way to get around that, because everyone else has figured out how to get around that when the AI fucks up with that. But yeah, no, I would love to be able to like open the third eye and like have that be like a state as well that would be just as responsive as the normal state without the third eye, right? Or again, the seven-eyed form that you sometimes see on the thumbnail is like, oh yeah, be able to use that, you know, pull the halo into there. There's all kinds of things that, like, if this gets off the ground, if you could highly customize it, I would absolutely love to do, because then it would give me like such a ridiculous, like, especially because again my character design is intended to be a shapeshifter, right? So there's already that where it's like I could just fucking leverage that. And again, I'm interested to see what the AI can do, right? I actually don't have anything against AI, cultural production. I don't have anything against AI art. I still think AI art is art, right? I like to draw, but I also like to see what I could do with the AI. It's not that hard, right? You could do both. You can't actually learn to prompt and to draw. Kionello says, I'm willing to try anything to see what it's like. Let's see. I'm planning on making a game for a friend and asked him if he was okay with me using AI. He asked for what, and I said coding and level planning. He was like, okay. He was okay with it. Yeah,